Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. They gave us scrap. We built the most feared warship in the Eclipse Galaxy Titan. Captain Jack Stone stood at the viewing window of the diplomatic vessel Horizon, watching as the massive alien station grew larger against the starfield. The structure was unlike anything humans had built, a spinning wheel of light and metal that housed the headquarters of the Eclipse Galaxy Federation. Quite a sight, isn't it? Mag Wilson joined him at the window. As the chief engineer of the mission, she couldn't help but admire the station's design. Her short red hair and practical jumpsuit stood in contrast to Stone's formal uniform. "It makes our best space stations look like children's toys," Stone said. His weathered face remained calm, but his eyes betrayed his worry. The Horizon represented humanity's first official delegation to the Federation after Earth had been grudgingly accepted as its newest and least important member. Humans had only achieved faster than light travel 15 years ago, while some Federation species have been crossing the stars for thousands of years. "They say the central hub alone is bigger than Manhattan," Wilson said, checking data on her tablet. "And it's powered by something called dark energy conversion. We're still decades away from that technology." Stone nodded. "That's why this meeting matters. We need allies, technology sharing, protection." He turned to face Wilson. "Remember, no matter what they say or do in there, we represent all of Earth. Stay calm." "Don't worry about me, Captain," Wilson said with a smile. "I grew up with 5 brothers. I know how to handle being the underdog." The ship's communication system crackled. "Captain Stone, we've been granted docking permission. Please prepare your team for arrival procedures." The Federation Council chamber overwhelmed the human delegation with its scale. Hundreds of alien representatives sat in rising tiers around a central speaking platform. Some looked almost human, while others were so strange that Stone couldn't tell which part was their face. The air filled with a mix of translated voices, creating a constant background hum. "The human delegation may approach," announced a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms. The translator in Stone's ear identified him as Ambassador Drell, the council moderator. Stone and Wilson walked forward with 3 other human representatives. They felt every alien eye following them. "Earth thanks the Federation for this opportunity," Stone began, following the practiced speech. "We come seeking friendship and knowledge exchange." A ripple of what sounded like laughter moved through the chamber. A large reptilian creature leaned forward from the highest tier. "Let us be direct, humans. Your species has been admitted only because your system sits at a strategic junction of travel routes. You have nothing else to offer." Stone kept his expression neutral. "With respect, Ambassador Kroll, humanity has much to contribute. Our adaptability, our creativity." "Primitive emotions," interrupted another alien, this one floating in a personal gravity field. "Your species still fights among itself. You have barely mastered the basics of space travel. You are children." For 2 hours, the pattern continued. Each time Stone tried to establish diplomatic dialogue, the more powerful Federation species dismissed human achievements and pointed out Earth's technological backwardness. When the formal proceedings ended, Ambassador Drell approached the humans with what passed for a smile. "The Federation has decided to offer Earth a welcoming gift." Stone felt a moment of hope. "That's very generous." "Follow me," Drell said. The transport took them to the far side of the station, to a massive bay where hundreds of ships and parts floated in organized sections. "This," Drell said with a sweep of his forearms, "is now Earth's." Wilson moved closer to the observation window. "What exactly are we looking at?" "Our disposal yard," Kroll said, joining them. "Technology and vessels deemed obsolete or irreparable by Federation standards." Stone struggled to keep his expression neutral. "You're giving us your garbage." "We're giving you a head start," Drell said, not bothering to hide his condescension. Even our scrap is centuries beyond your current capabilities. Perhaps studying it will help you catch up. The other aliens didn't bother hiding their amusement. Stone felt his face grow hot with anger, but he kept his voice steady. Earth accepts your generous gift. Back on the horizon, Stone paced the small conference room while the rest of the delegation argued. It's a direct insult, said the political officer, slamming his fist on the table. We should refuse it and demand respect. With what leverage? Asked the diplomatic advisor. We're the newest, weakest member. We have no standing to demand anything. Wilson had been quiet, reviewing the inventory list the Federation had provided. She suddenly looked up. Captain, we should take it. Everyone turned to her. Take their garbage? Have you lost your mind? The political officer asked. Wilson turned her tablet around to show them. This isn't just garbage. There are drive cores from 7 different technological traditions, weapon systems from species that have been extinct for centuries, sensor arrays more advanced than anything we've ever built. She stood up, excitement breaking through her usual calm. They think they're mocking us, but they've just handed us the greatest collection of diverse technology in human history. Stone studied her face. You think we can use it? I know we can. Wilson's eyes lit up with possibility. The Federation races all developed along different technological paths. They're so advanced that they've stopped looking sideways, they only look forward. But humans, we've always been good at taking existing ideas and combining them in ways no one else imagined. For the first time since arriving at the station, Stone smiled. So while they're all advancing straight ahead, we can come at problems from angles they never considered. Wilson finished, they're giving us the pieces to build something new, something unique. Stone nodded slowly, a plan forming. How quickly can you assemble a team? Give me 2 weeks and a secure facility. I'll gather the best minds on Earth. Stone turned to the communication officer. Send a message to Earth Command. Tell them, he paused, looking back at the salvage yard through the viewport, tell them we're accepting the Federation's gift with gratitude and request immediate resources for a new project. He turned back to the room, his expression determined. We're going to call it Project Titan. Wilson grinned. They gave us scrap. And we'll build a warship that will make them regret it, Stone finished. As the Horizon prepared to return to Earth with news of the Federation's gift, Captain Stone took one last look at the alien station. Let them laugh now, he thought. Soon enough, they would learn that underestimating humans was the biggest mistake they could make. 3 months after the Federation meeting, Mag Wilson floated in the center of a large chamber carved inside an asteroid in the outer reaches of the solar system. The secret facility, hidden in the Kuiper belt beyond Neptune, had been built in record time. Around her, pieces of alien technology hung suspended in zero gravity, organized in clusters by function. How's the power core analysis coming along? She asked, pushing herself toward a group of engineers working on a glowing cylinder. Dar. Alex Cooper, the project's propulsion expert, looked up from his tablet. His dark skin contrasted with the white lab coat that was standard for all Titan personnel. Fascinating and frustrating at the same time. This drive uses principles we've only theorized about. It's like giving Stone Age humans a jet engine. Wilson nodded. That's exactly what they did. They thought we'd just stare at it in confusion. Well, they weren't entirely wrong, Cooper said with a tired smile. We understand maybe 10% of how it works. 10% is a start, Wilson replied, patting his shoulder. Keep at it. She pushed off to another section where Maria Das was connecting cables between an alien computing core and a human interface. Das had been the lead AI developer for the North American Union before Wilson recruited her. Any progress? Wilson asked. Das didn't look up from her work. I've managed to establish basic communication with the system. It's not designed to interact with our technology, but I'm building a translation layer. She pointed to lines of code scrolling on her screen. The alien AI architecture is completely different from ours. They build horizontally, we build vertically, meaning they create specialized systems for each function. We create generalized systems that stack abilities. Das finally looked up, her eyes bright with excitement. Their way is more efficient for specific tasks, but our way is more adaptable. I'm trying to create something that uses both approaches. Wilson made notes on her tablet. That's exactly the kind of thinking we need. Keep me updated. Her next stop was the weapons section, where Tom Reed was disassembling what appeared to be a cannon of some kind. Reed had previously worked on classified military projects before joining Titan. Tell me something good, Reed, Wilson said as she approached. Reed looked up with a grin. Good. How about amazing? This isn't just a weapon, it's art. He pointed to the inner workings. The Federation species who built this, we think it was the Vosh, they use crystalline focusing instead of magnetic. More precise, less power hungry. Can we replicate it? Not exactly. But that's the beauty. Reed held up a small device. This is a standard human targeting system. By itself, nowhere near as good as the alien tech. But when I connect them, he pressed the device against a port on the alien cannon. The weapon hummed to life, projecting a holographic targeting display. Our strength isn't building from scratch. It's adapting and combining, their hardware, our software, their power, our control systems. Wilson felt a surge of hope. All around the facility, her team was finding ways to make incompatible technologies work together. 6 months into the project, Captain Stone visited the asteroid base for the first progress report. Wilson led him through the facility, pointing out key developments. The biggest breakthrough came when we stopped trying to understand everything and focused on results, she explained as they floated through the main construction hangar. We found that we can combine technologies from different Federation species in ways they never attempted. Stone raised an eyebrow. Why would they never attempt it? Politics, mostly. The Federation species don't share well with each other. Each follows their own technological tradition. Plus, many of these systems were designed to be incompatible on purpose to prevent enemies from using captured technology. But that doesn't stop us, Stone said, beginning to understand. Exactly. We're outside their rules and traditions. We're taking pieces from a dozen different alien cultures and making them work together. Wilson gestured to the center of the hangar, where the skeleton of a massive ship was taking form. That's Titan. Stone stared at the framework. It's bigger than I expected. We had to expand the design. Some of the systems need more space than we initially calculated, but the results will be worth it. She led him to a small testing chamber where Cooper was working with a strange-looking engine. Show him, Wilson said. Cooper nodded and activated the device. A small model ship rose in the air, suspended in what looked like rippling air. That's not anti-gravity, Cooper explained. It's a localized space-time distortion field. The Brill use it for short-range transport, but we've modified it to work as a shield. Physical weapons pass through it at greatly reduced velocity and energy weapons. Stone asked. Most are diverted or scattered. It's not perfect, but combined with conventional shields, it gives us layers of defense no Federation ship has. Stone looked impressed. What about power requirements? Wilson grimaced. That's our biggest challenge. These systems were never meant to work together. The power draws are enormous. Which brings us to the heart of Titan, Cooper added. Follow me. They moved to a sealed chamber where a team worked around a pulsing cube of swirling energy. We call it the hybrid core, Wilson explained. It combines 3 different alien power generation systems, not just connected but actually merged into a single new system. Stone stared at the cube. Is it stable? Mostly, Wilson admitted. We're still working on the containment field. As if on cue, the cube pulsed violently, and alarms blared. Cooper rushed to a control panel. Containment fluctuation. Everyone back. The team moved with practiced efficiency, evacuating the room as the cube's light grew brighter. Should we run? Stone asked tensely. Wilson checked readings on her tablet. No need. Watch. The cube expanded, then suddenly contracted, stabilizing into a steady glow. The containment field is learning, Wilson explained, pride evident in her voice. DOS incorporated adaptive algorithms. Every fluctuation teaches the system how to better control the reaction. It's alive? Stone asked, concerned. Not alive, but not simply mechanical either. It's something in between, like much of what we're building here. Near the end of the tour, a security alarm sounded throughout the facility. Wilson quickly checked her communications device. Perimeter alert. Something's been detected near the asteroid. They rushed to the command center, where security officers tracked a small object moving erratically around the facility. Federation design, said the security chief. Looks like a spy drone. Stone's face hardened. They found us. Maybe not, Wilson said. It could be routine surveillance. The Federation patrols this region occasionally. Can we destroy it before it reports back? Stone asked. Wilson exchanged looks with Reed, who had joined them in the command center. I have a better idea, Reed said with a slight smile. Let's catch it instead. Within hours, the drone had been captured using a modified tractor beam. Instead of destroying it, Reed's team had already begun taking it apart in a secure lab. Stealth technology, Reed explained as they examined the drone. Some of the most advanced we've seen. But now it's ours to study. Wilson turned to Stone. Every challenge is an opportunity, even this intrusion. Stone nodded slowly, looking back at the skeletal form of Titan taking shape in the main hangar. How long until it's ready, he asked. Wilson considered the question. The basic systems, another 6 months. Full combat readiness, maybe a year. We're not just building a ship, Captain. We're inventing an entirely new approach to space technology. The Federation gave us scraps, Stone said, repeating their unofficial motto. Wilson smiled. And we're building something they never imagined possible. As Stone prepared to return to Earth with his report, he took one last look at the embryonic warship. For the first time since meeting the Federation, he felt a surge of hope. Humanity might be the newest species in the galaxy, but they would not remain the weakest for long. 1 year after Project Titan began, the massive warship was no longer just a skeleton. Its hull gleamed under the lights of the asteroid facility, now expanded to 3 times its original size to accommodate the growing vessel. Wilson stood on an observation platform with her core team, looking out at their creation with a mixture of pride and exhaustion. None of them had taken more than a few days off in the past year. She's beautiful, Cooper said, his eyes fixed on the ship. And terrifying, added Reed. Just like we wanted. The Titan was unlike any human or alien vessel ever built. Its shape defied standard design rules, with sections that seemed to flow into each other without clear boundaries. The hull was a patchwork of different materials, each chosen for specific properties rather than appearance. Atlas is ready for the full system test, Dawes said, tapping on her tablet. Atlas was the name they had given to the ship's integrated AI system, which DOS had developed by combining human programming with alien processing cores. It had grown from a simple interface to a complex entity that could learn and adapt at an astonishing rate. Bridge is prepared, Wilson confirmed. Let's head up. The Bridge of Titan was a marvel of human ingenuity. Unlike the sterile, minimalist designs favored by most Federation species, it felt almost organic. Workstations curved to fit human bodies, and displays projected information in 3 dimensions that operators could manipulate with hand gestures. All departments report ready, announced the communications officer as Wilson and her team took their positions. Wilson nodded and pressed a button on the central command console. Atlas, are you online? A deep, calm voice answered from everywhere and nowhere. I am operational, Chief Engineer Wilson. All systems show green status. Wilson looked at DOS, who nodded with a smile of satisfaction. Begin pre-launch sequence, Wilson ordered. Around them, the ship hummed to life. Displays lit up, showing power levels rising smoothly across all systems. Hybrid core stable at 30% capacity, Cooper reported from the engineering station. That's more than enough for the test. Defensive systems online, Reed added from tactical. Shields, point defense, and weapons all responding. Wilson took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth, their first full system test of the mighty vessel. Atlas, initiate control thrust test, 10% power. Station keeping thrusters only. Acknowledged, the AI responded. Initiating thrust in 3, 2, 1. The entire ship vibrated slightly as the maneuvering thrusters fired. On the main display, Wilson could see the Titan moving slowly away from its docking clamps. Perfect balance, Cooper said with a grin. Not even a degree of drift. Wilson allowed herself a small smile. Increase to 20%. Let's see how she handles. The ship moved more confidently now, sliding through the cavernous hangar with surprising grace for such a massive vessel. Now for the real test, Wilson said after several basic maneuvers had been completed successfully. Atlas, prepare for a short-range jump test. This was the most dangerous part. The Titan's propulsion system used a modified version of several alien faster-than-light technologies, combined in ways their creators had never intended. In simulations, it worked perfectly. In reality, they were about to find out. Jump drive charging, Cooper reported. Field stabilizing, containment steady. We are go for jump. Wilson looked around at her team, seeing her own mix of fear and excitement mirrored in their faces. Atlas, execute jump, target coordinates Alpha 1. Executing jump, the AI confirmed. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the view outside the bridge windows streaked and blurred. A sensation like falling and rising at the same time washed over everyone on board. 3 seconds later, the stars returned to normal. Jump complete, Atlas announced. We have arrived at coordinates Alpha 1. The bridge erupted in cheers. Wilson checked the navigation display. They had jumped precisely to their target point, just beyond Pluto's orbit. Perfect, she breathed. Absolutely perfect. Unknown to the Titan's crew, their jump had created an energy signature unlike anything seen in the Eclipse Galaxy before. The unique combination of technologies produced a ripple in spacetime that propagated outward at faster-than-light speeds. At a Federation monitoring station 6 light-years away, sensors detected the anomaly. Commander, a technician called out. I'm reading an unusual energy pattern from the Sol system. The station commander, a veteran of the Federation Survey Corps, moved to examine the readings. His eyes widened. That's impossible. Run a diagnostic on the sensors. Already did, sir. The reading is confirmed. The commander stared at the display, his mind racing. Send a priority message to Federation security. Someone in the human system is experimenting with unauthorized technology combinations. 3 days after the successful test, Wilson was summoned to an emergency meeting with Earth's Defense Council. Captain Stone was there, along with the highest-ranking military and political leaders. The Federation has demanded access to all our research facilities, the defense minister explained, her face grim. They claim we're violating technology protocols. They know about Titan? Wilson asked, alarmed. They know something, Stone replied. The energy signature from our jump test triggered their long-range sensors. They've dispatched investigators. Wilson exchanged worried looks with her team members. The project isn't ready for scrutiny. We need at least 6 more months for full combat readiness. The room fell silent as everyone considered the implications. Finally, the defense minister spoke again. There's more. Our intelligence suggests that tensions between the major Federation factions have reached a breaking point. The Bell Collective and the Vosh Dominion are mobilizing their fleets. War seems inevitable. How does that affect us? Asked Reed. Stone leaned forward. Earth sits at a strategic junction. Both sides will want to secure our system. If we're seen as weak or neutral, we'll be occupied or worse. But if we're seen as strong, Wilson began. We need to reveal Titan, the minister finished. Not to Federation investigators, but to the galaxy. We need to show that humanity is not to be trifled with. Wilson shook her head. The ship isn't ready. It performed perfectly in the test, Stone countered. A simple jump test. We haven't tested the full weapon systems, the advanced shielding, though. We're out of time, the president interrupted, speaking for the first time. The Federation inspection team will be here in 3 days. The vote has already been taken. Titan will be revealed. Wilson wanted to argue further, but the determination on the faces around her made it clear the decision was final. Very well, she said at last. But I want my entire team on board for the demonstration. If something goes wrong, we'll need to fix it on the fly. Agreed, said Stone. I'll command the ship personally. As the meeting ended and people began to file out, Wilson grabbed Stone's arm. This isn't how I wanted to introduce our creation to the galaxy, she said quietly. Stone looked her in the eyes. Sometimes the best moments in history aren't planned. They're forced upon us. Wilson nodded slowly. Well then, Captain, I suggest you pack your bags. Tomorrow we unveil the most advanced warship the Eclipse Galaxy has ever seen and hope, Stone added, that it's enough to earn humanity the respect we deserve. The day of revelation arrived with tension hanging in the air. Federation investigators were scheduled to arrive at Earth's orbital station within hours. The plan was to intercept them before they could begin their inspection, to show rather than hide. Captain Stone sat in the command chair on Titan's bridge, dressed in a new uniform created specifically for the ship's crew, black with silver trim. It marked them as something new in the galaxy, not just Earth's representatives but pioneers of a bold approach to space travel. Status report, Stone ordered, his voice calm despite the pressure. All systems operational, Wilson replied from the engineering station. Hybrid core at 60% and stable. Weapons and shields ready, Reed added from tactical. Atlas is fully online and integrated with all ship systems, DOS reported from her station. Stone nodded, satisfied. Communications, open a channel to Earth Command. Channel open, sir. Earth Command, this is Titan. We are ready to proceed. The defense minister's voice came through clearly. Understood, Titan. Federation delegation will arrive at coordinates Delta 9 in approximately 40 minutes. Take position and await further orders. Acknowledged, Stone replied. He turned to his helmsman. Set course for Delta 9, half speed. The massive warship moved smoothly out of the asteroid base that had been its birthplace. As it cleared the hangar doors, sunlight gleamed off its unusual hull for the first time. Beautiful, someone whispered on the bridge. Stone had to agree. Despite its patchwork nature, or perhaps because of it, Titan had a strange, dangerous beauty. It didn't look like a human ship or an alien one. It was something entirely new. Time to intercept point? Stone asked. 35 minutes at current speed, the navigator replied. Stone smiled slightly. Let's show them what Titan can do. Full speed. The ship surged forward, rapidly accelerating to speeds no Earth vessel had ever achieved within the solar system. The trip to the intercept point, which would have taken a conventional human ship hours, took just 15 minutes. "Take us out of light speed," Stone ordered as they approached. Standard orbit of the meeting point. Titan slowed gracefully, taking position near the designated coordinates where the Federation delegation would arrive. "Now we wait," Stone said, settling back in his chair. The Federation delegation arrived precisely on schedule. 3 ships emerged from faster-than-light travel, 1 large diplomatic vessel flanked by 2 smaller escorts. All bore the markings of the Brawl Collective, one of the dominant factions in the Federation. "They've spotted us," Reed reported, watching his sensors. "Their weapon systems just went active." "Defensive posture only," Stone ordered. "No aggressive moves." The communications officer turned to Stone. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the lead Federation ship." On screen. The main display changed to show an alien face. Ambassador Drell, the same 4-armed diplomat who had gifted Earth with the scrapyard a year ago, looked out at them with obvious surprise. "This is Ambassador Drell,"